You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kirsten.
Yeah. It's a big show, but it is Truth on Tap. It's a spinoff. It's the big show, always.
Some say that karma is a bitch.
Yeah, and we hope it's true.
Some say that karma is a bitch.
Yeah, his mother's a bitch.
It's a big show.
Wow, it's a big show.
Okay, so last week
My
I
friend
had
is
to
staying
travel
on
to San
hotel.
Jose.
If she wanted to really be scared, she would have watched Newbie play tonight.
And apparently there was a Macworld convention going on or something, but I did call for a hotel that had a room
You're
for me.
listening to
I
Caps
didn't know at
on
the
Tap,
time it was
your
a
host Kevin
hotel.
Kirsten. Tonight we're going to talk about how they performed against the Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks. Forgive me for one moment here because there is a song that likes to keep popping up in my deck here and playing. And there they go again. You know, the deck is closed and they're playing. Bad Ace, you're an amazing band. How the hell you find a way to play? It just baffles me. How do, whatever. Washington Capitals took on the Stanley Cup champion Chicago Blackhawks tonight in what could be viewed, in my book, as a battle royale, for lack of better terms. I'll tell you, I had a ball. I don't care that they lost again. We've had 4 games, 4 shootouts this preseason. That tells me a few things, and we're going to talk about that. We played a very young team. We played an energetic team. They own the Stanley Cup, so they've got something to defend. Then again, some say you get the Stanley Cup blues. Once you've got it, you kind of say, well, what's better than this? And you kind of relax. I did notice what seemed to be most of the Blackhawks relax after the second period tonight. I'm surprised they still pulled it off. But so did the Caps, and we're going to talk about that as well. Caps, you got to stop relaxing there. You really do. That's not cool. You know, we can't relax. That's why we've ended up in 4 shootouts. We get a lead, and we think we've won. Wrong approach. Wrong approach, Washington. Don't do that. That's bad. That's bad stuff. You know it, but you do it anyway, don't you? Mr. Oates, why don't you take your team aside and say, I want you guys to win by at least 2 goals, or we're going to skate suicides after every game that you don't. Because 1 goal's not enough for you. You tend to sit on your lead and then lose the game. You got to win by 2, or we're going to skate. And it's a win-win, because you're either going to win by 2, or you're going to be in the best shape in this league. Oh, you'll hate me, and that's okay. But something's got to give here. Tired of sitting on the 1-goal leads, letting one get through, and then losing the game. Not really the case this year. I'm not making that case. It's just that it's all too often common with this team over the past 5 years. Got to stop relaxing when you've got the lead. That's just not working for me. So I'm going to say something about it. I mean, can you blame me? Aren't you saying something about it? If you're a Capitals fan and you saw them play tonight, did you not? What are we asking here? Are we asking for miracles? Or are we asking for them to just play as if they want to win? Well, I'll leave that up to you to decide. If you want to get in on the chat, you can either call in 910-NO-LYING is the number with the acronym. That is 910-665-9464. You can also get in on the chat by going to Spreaker.com. Go to Spreaker.com/user/TruthOnTap. And you will see that I have 2 shows. One is Truth on Tap and one is Caps on Tap. Go to the Caps on Tap or the live broadcast there, which will say live with a big red sticker, and jump in on the chat that way. The chat icon's down there in the lower right by the heart. You could jump right in, share your views with me, and I'll put them on the air. Don't know how long this show is going to be tonight. I am working sick here, and I don't get sick very often. I got a few things working against me tonight. One, I was at the VA last week. I'm going to make this very short because it doesn't have to do with the Capitals. And they twisted and turned me all kinds of ways to get x-rays. So my back is all screwed up, as is my right knee. 2, I got hit with a cold that has the whole sore throat, nasal thing going and all that. And 3, as usual, I haven't slept since the VA contorted me really peacefully. So I've got a lot of stuff working against me here. Therefore, I don't know how long I'm going to broadcast. One of the good things about the nature of podcasts today is that they tend to be unpredictable. I kind of like that. I think people like that. They like the randomness of it. Will this show be 30 minutes? Will it be 2 hours? We don't know. Hell, the host doesn't know. That's pretty cool. I kind of like that. I like that. That's part of why I like hockey. The unpredictability of the puck. The movement on the ice. The slippery factor. I kind of like that. That's exciting. You know, it's just part of the game. Always have. You don't have that in other sports. You don't have the slippery effect. Will it fall off the stick? If he shoots, is it going to roll? Will it change directions? What's going to happen? Exciting stuff. Exciting, unpredictable stuff. I like it. What was predictable tonight was the performance of the people who come to this team and show up at games to work. Do you agree with me there? Alexander Ovechkin doing what he always does. I don't think I could have been much more impressed with him than I was tonight. I mean, you know, when you get an Ovechkin on the ice, what are you asking of him? You're asking him to get some hits in. We're paying you good for that. You're asking him to get some shots in. We're paying you good for that. You got a good shot. We want you to take it. And you're asking him most recently to get the hell back on defense and do something. We're paying you enough for that. Okay? Well, that's what you got tonight, didn't you? Did you see him make a mistake tonight? I saw him lose the puck once. I think it hopped over his stick. That'll happen, you know. And that makes OV look terrible when that happens. And you know, sometimes he'll wipe out on his skates, you know, right out in the middle of nowhere. Poor guy. He put some pressure on the Blackhawks. He really did. Nuvi, I was already not a fan, Nuvi. You got to put some heart into it, bro. Get quicker. Go do that thing like they did on Miracle and play with the tennis balls against the wall. Whatever you got to do, brother, to get better. I'm not impressed with your performance. You gotta, I don't know, fix it. Fix it. Stop letting goals in. 2 slack goals by Nuvi. 1 wasn't really his fault. I'm no good with that. Now, depending on how you want to pronounce it, Legio or Legio, our announcer, Mr. Joe Beninati, insisted on saying Legio, yet the announcers that came down with Chicago pronounced it Legio. You get Legio on YouTube when you look it up for pronunciation. I'm a kind of a pronunciation guy, so I really need to know, and if you would go in the chat or call and tell me how the hell to pronounce that. And let's get away from him. About halfway through the second, we did put Legio in. That was after Brad Winchester's goal. Nuvi let in 3 of 17. That's not going to work for us. We need a goalie to stop 9 out of 10 to give us a chance, okay? 3 of 17 doesn't work out to that math. That's not working for us. How about that Tom Wilson? Now, I told you, be careful. Be careful, because a rookie like that is looking like a real superstar. They'll burn out a little. Once they get comfortable in their position, a lot of times they'll slack up. All right, what you're looking for is repeat performances. Now, he's holding his own right now. He's holding his own. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's in the NHL yet. Maybe he feels like he's still trying to make the team. Played like a champ tonight. Bloodied Kyle Beach's nose. Didn't take any shit from him. And he didn't just start the fight. I mean, he was hit low. So it was kind of a retaliatory thing. Not smart in that respect, but if you're going to fight and you know you're going to get the fight back, well, you got a mutually exclusive penalty there. I'll take it if you've got to make a point. And OV was throwing hits all over the place. Do you remember the hit that he put on Letty? And in turn, Letty got pissed off and kept putting pressure on Legio. So, like I like to say, when Legio came out, he said, "Letty, go. I am Legio. Don't let go my ego." You like that? Yeah, I put that together. I got that. I put that together. Don't Letty, go. I am Legio. Legio my egio. Letty, yo. Yeah, why not? Why not? If you can't be funny, what can you be? Informative? All right, I'll try that then. Legio got caught cheating on the 4th goal that came in. Did you see them? They came about on a 4-on-2, if I remember correctly. Puck all the way to the left side. What do you do as a goalie? I'm going to give you 3 guesses. You only need one. What do you do as a goalie when the puck is coming up on your left side and you've got 1 guy in front of you and 2 guys to the right of you? Do you go over and make sure that if he's going to pass to those other guys, you can block them too? No. No, Legio. You play the puck. You play the puck as if it will not be passed. You're forced to. If you start leaning the other way, you're cheating. That's what's called cheating, okay? And why would you do that if you don't even know if the puck's going to be passed? Stay square to the shooter and stop the damn puck. It went high. It went high and left on him. He could have stopped it if he would have squared up his body the correct way, but he stayed more toward the middle of the net. Maybe starting jitters. I don't know. I'm not going to be hard on him. You know, the other night when he played, he stopped all 4 of the Philadelphia Flyers in the shootout. So, you know, win some, lose some, I guess. Eric Fehr, the man is so underrated that you probably don't even know how to spell his name if you're a regular Capitals fan and not a hardcore Capitals fan like some of us. He doesn't get his name into highlights very often, does he? Well, let me tell you something about Eric Fehr. He is right up there on my list of important players with Chimera, OV, and Backy. He's right up there. Now, you're going, where's Mojo? Why is Mojo not in that list? Because he's not skating. If Mojo won't show me some speed, I'm not showing him respect. He's not getting up on my list. Use that damn burst speed you have, or you're being a slacker. No good for me. Is he a great passer? Yes. Can he shoot? He sure can. But he's not skating, and he's got speed that's like Chimera's. So how come Chimera has to use his speed, but Mojo doesn't? I don't like it. I don't like that at all. Talking about Fehr, he knocked one in. Fehr is a guy who will strike out of nowhere. He somehow gets into that forecheck and gets invisible. Have you noticed that? Fehr's wiggly. He's here, but no, I'm going to step over there. Let me take 3 strides back. Bam! The puck's in the back of the net. Where the hell did he come from? That's Eric Fehr. That's what he does. I like it. I love it. That's Eric Fehr. And speaking of what I love, because everything relates to everything else, just remember what you're listening to. It is a spinoff, and here it goes.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead.
Yeah, that's right. And I think you probably recognize that voice, don't you, fellow Capitals fans? For those that are just tuning in for the first time, who do you think that was? I'll give you a hint. The phone booth. Little bells are ringing, little light bulbs popping at the top of your head. Definitely was Wes Johnson, the greatest voice to ever come across speakers. He's got a history with his voice, as you know, if you live up there near D.C. The greatest arena announcer to ever take the job, and I hope he never leaves the job. Wes Johnson doing my voiceover for me. What a voice, man. I mean, the guy it just commands respect with that voice. And go, Wes. Don't let anybody stop you, brother. You got it going on with the voice, bro. I'm behind you. You know, going back to the Capitals, I think I can do a longer show tonight if I take a couple of breaks. So I am going to take like an early break here in a couple minutes. As some of you know, I just got done with another show with an Arab that likes to take me on, you know, me being the white imperialist American taking on the midget Arab, and I'm 6'5" and he's 5'2". So it's quite a spectacle, if you can imagine, on a radio show. You can check that out on my other show, Truth on Tap. Check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/TruthOnTapShow. That'll get you in. Right now, I need to make a technical note. Kevin, don't forget that you're using the audio filter. So I want to see if we're getting rid of our hisses and pops and crackles here, which I think we had on the last show as a result of Google Voice or something else. or not using the filter, whatever. So let's see, we've been on this for about 15 minutes into this broadcast. I'll probably throw on a couple songs at the 20-minute mark and try to give my vocal cords a rest. Let's get back into hockey. I'm liking the way the Capitals are looking. I'm hoping that Holtby is up to the task. Is he getting tired? Is he getting too comfortable? I don't think so. I think he's looking pretty good. You know, there are some players, and I will talk constantly about people like Chimera. If you come to the Capitals team to work, you're getting talked about by me. And this show is picking up listeners fast, okay? So this is going to spread, and people are going to say, well, why aren't you talking about so-and-so? I'm telling you right now, if they don't come to the show to work, I'm probably not going to talk about them at all. If I do, it's going to be negative. You don't come to the big show at the phone booth and then not work. You got to work. You got to use all your skills. You know, I'm not asking Johnny Erskine to run a 4.440. I mean, he's our enforcer. Sometimes he's lucky to get down the ice, I think. But I want his best. And I certainly don't want to see him slacking. And Johnny doesn't slack often. He's good at what he does. You want to talk about people that stay under the radar? I'll tell you some people that stay under the radar, and I'll tell you whether they deserve it or not. How about Orlov? Dmitry Orlov? I'm going to be honest with you folks. Get into the chat, call, and tell me why I'm wrong. 910 no lying. I don't think Orlov is really knocking anybody's socks off. What am I missing? You keep hearing the announcer say, this Dmitry Orlov, so impressive. You keep hearing coaching staff, very pleased with Dmitry Orlov's performance. But I'm not seeing him really ring up stats. I'm not seeing him throw big body checks. He'll throw a hip check once in a while. It's impressive. What's so great about Dmitry Orlov? Tell me what I'm missing, okay? I'm an honest person. I want to get this out there. Another guy, you know who I'm going to say next, don't you? He's on the team somehow, but never gets talked about and almost never shows up in the stats. You know who I'm talking about? I'll give you a quick hint. Initials KA. Now, I'm not going to play the whole Jeopardy theme, but I'll give you a few seconds with it. Carl Alsner. He doesn't do anything, does he? He's just like there. I don't know what that is. He's like a belt buckle. It's like we need him, but we can't use him for anything. I don't know how else to phrase that. You know, he's just not showing up big on anything. It's just, Nicky has started shooting lately. Have you noticed that? Nick Backstrom? He started shooting. He's getting a little more brave with his passes and skating. He's showing up even more than he did before. And I loved Nicky before because he's stable. You know you're going to get, I believe he's the backbone of this team, Nick Backstrom. Ovi's a star. He's always got to protect his role as a star. He probably is getting to the point in his career where he takes his team more seriously than being a star. Younger guys always want to be the star first, and then they look to their team. That's good, since he's the captain. That's a good thing. I think it was made captain a little bit too early. But Nicky is the quiet leader of this team. Not out there barking orders. Not out there criticizing people. Just doing and leading by example. Solid passing, solid skating, owns the zone when he wants to, owns it. And if he feels he's getting double teamed or something, he knows how to get the puck out. All right, to somebody, not just out, to somebody with the same color jersey. Nicky is sharp and skilled. He's not as good as he could be on the shooting, and he's not as frequent as he could be. We'd like to see more of that from Nicky. Scored tonight. You know, first goal, 2 minutes in, bam, Nicky's on the board. You can do that, Nick. You can do it. Just got to put the puck up more. I love Swedish hockey players. I love their control. I love their control. And speaking of control, you know, as a guy, as a hockey fan that loves to watch a controlled puck, what I don't like is the damn dump and chase. Yes, you know, some people like it, I don't. I don't like that we don't have controlled breakouts out of our zone, out of our D zone. How about passing it to somebody in the same color jersey instead of clearing it every time? That's not a fucking plan right there, brother. Pass it to somebody in the same color jersey who should then pass it to somebody else in the same color jersey and skate it into the O-zone instead of dump and chase. Everybody afraid to get hit? Everybody too tired to get up there? I I don't see a lot of solid defense coming from the deep people on the other teams, at least this preseason. You know, what are we doing? What's going on there? Dump and chase just, it feels sloppy to me. It feels like a coin toss. That's the way I look at it. I realize it is a valid offensive plan, but I don't like it. OV banging home the fourth. Now think about that play. Let's talk about that fourth goal for the Caps, the one that tied it up. Damn. You know, and maybe I'll just say it one more time. Damn. Did you see that? My God. I'm still reeling from that goal. I mean, can you get better than that? I don't think I've ever seen hockey put such a perfect tic-tac-toe up, you know? So we're watching, and we've got Mojo doing something right for a change, doing something with effort, does a quick little backhand move. Looks like he's going to skate out of the zone, then turns to skate back in, then backhands the puck to the point, to Carlson. You remember that? Carlson keeps himself open, gets the puck, does a no-look pass to OV, who one times it in, bangs that goal home. All of them ready for what they knew was coming. That's how hockey needs to be played every time. Okay, that's perfection right there. 1, 2, 3, tic-tac-toe, in goes the puck. We are all happy. Do that a lot more, Capitals. That's what we want. One thing, I'm going to give you a little tip here, which I like to do, Capitals fans, to keep you sharp. You want to know how to spot a new fan on any team for the NHL? They're always, for the first few years, really, beating the shit out of their team. Have you noticed that? Let me tell you about how that works in psychology. What that is when someone is being negative about the team, this is what they're saying behind the message. And some of you already know this. What they're saying is, I know about hockey. 1, 2, I know about my team. That's 2. Now 3, it's hard to impress me because I'm quite the connoisseur of hockey. Okay? So what do? Bad-mouthing their marginal and bad players all the damn time. Okay? That's how you can spot them. Me, I'll tell a couple people, pick up your effort. I'll get on a couple people like Nuvi who just isn't performing. But in general, these guys are in the NHL. Okay? I've been watching the Capitals since 1974. They didn't get to the NHL by being what most fans call them when they're criticizing them. They got to the NHL by being miraculously good. Okay? Keep that in mind when you start the critiques. What I look for is trends. You know, I both reward good trends and I punish on the air bad trends. I don't look for a bad game. A bad game, everybody's going to have a bad game. Let it go. You know, if somebody blows it on the shootout, you know, Mike Green, last game or 2 games ago, you know, missed the damn puck going for the shootout. By the time he got it collected, it was a handover to the goalie. What a joke that was. But I'm not beating him up about it. Shit happens, you know, you let it go. You want to win, so you get upset a little, but you let it go. The new fan will harp on that. How could that dumb son of a bitch do that, miss that goal? I'm irate. No, you're not. You're just a new fan trying to impress people. Good fans that have been around for a long time, are a little more calm on issues like that. Yeah, we know stuff happens. I'm getting ready to throw on a song here for you because I need to give my vocal cords a rest. And maybe we'll play with some sound effects when I get back. I don't know. You know, it's my show. I'll do what the hell I want to do. If you don't like it, turn it off. We will keep talking about the Capitals. That's a good thing. And we're going to talk a little bit about the NHL in general. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about officials because I like to talk about officials. I don't beat up on them too bad. I know they got a hard job. But we'll talk about them. We'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and give you Bad Ace Falling Faces. Bad Ace is a local band here in southeastern Virginia. You can look them up, badace.com, just like it sounds. Find them on Facebook. Just search for Bad Ace, 2 separate words. We're going to put on Falling Faces and then a special. And here we go.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kirsten.
I sleep these nights up next to falling faces off the wall, and I creep these hallways under tears I've cried for you. I'm falling, falling, torn between the dark and light, and I'm calling, calling for your kiss to calm the fight. Now I know it's a little too late for fantasies, but I've always dreamed you'd be the one for me. And now I see it's another lonely night for dreaming, yeah. I'll not be free, 'cause I never was a true believer. I want you to know I was better off dreaming anyway. I'm no longer waiting outside for you today. My, it's another lonely night for dreaming, yeah. So don't tell me you can find another friend to fill you down, child. No, just leave me. I was never anyone to care about. Now I'm crawling on another bedroom floor for sale.
Bad Ace a Special is what you just got done hearing. We're talking about the Washington Capitals and the Chicago Blackhawks game tonight. Why don't you let me know what you're thinking? Come on into the chat. You can go to Spreaker.com/user/truthontap and enter the chat there. Look for the live show that's on right now. It's actually, Caps on Tap is a spin-off, or I guess you could say a daughter show of Truth on Tap. Something I just started pretty recently. Seems to be popular, so I'm gonna go on with it for now. But I need some more interaction. I need some more Caps fans in here telling me where I'm wrong. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me where you're right. Because we care about this team. If you're the kind of person where a Capitals loss can ruin your day the next day, then you're going to understand me. Okay? That's something to keep in mind. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about was officials. The question is, officials are going to make mistakes. I don't think they're often bought off. I think that's rather conspiratorial in thinking. However, I think it happens once in a while. I do believe that when you take the flip of the coin as to whether or not the calls will go for you or against you, in general, which should be 50-50, right? And for most teams is, I think. Capitals don't really get that fair. They're about 60-40, 60 against 44. Seems to be a little bit leaning against the Capitals. And is it just because the officials in the back of their mind have OV in their head? Is that it? Is it because they've connected the Washington Capitals to the mess in Washington politically? I don't know. Something going on there, because the Capitals are not treated fairly as a team by the officials in general. Now, does that excuse us from losses? Not at all. Like I said last week, or the other day, when you go into a game, you must go in and be able to beat 3 bad calls. That's off the bat. That's as if those bad calls are guaranteed and you know they're coming. 6 minutes of power play time for the other team is a given. It's a given. You've got to beat that. You got to come in to beat that. You don't come in and then when that happens say, "Oh no, we're going to have to adjust." No, that's in the standard plan, man. You got to beat 3 bad calls. Your goalie's going to stop 9 out of 10 if he's good. And you got to beat that because the other goalie's expected to do the same. Everybody's sitting around 900. The great goalies are around 930. The marginal ones around 890. Everybody there. Around 9 goals out of 10 there, a good goalie's going to stop. So keep them there, all right? Now, that's something you got to beat. And then you got to be physical enough and fast enough to take on that. You got to be accurate with your passing. You got to avoid stupid penalties that are legitimate. Okay, on top of those 3 bad calls you're going to get, even if you don't get them, plan as if you're going to get them and play as such. Capitals need to start playing when they get the lead as if they're losing. Because I have seen them forfeit so many leads over the years, it ain't even funny. Getting a 1-goal lead does not mean you've won the game. Getting a 1-goal lead means the other team is going to get more active in trying to catch you. That means you've got to step up your game, not down. You can't relax thinking that 1 goal is going to hold you to the end. It rarely does it? It rarely does. I'm feeling a little bit limited on what else I can say about this particular game. We are in the preseason. I am trying to get a show base build up, but as I told you a little bit earlier, I'm sick. I got to shake this sickness off. So I'm just going to close with a few other things. I won't play a Bad A song since I just played 2. One of the things is that we will have our season opener coming up, and that also is against the Chicago Blackhawks. I think our team performed well tonight. When you take the Chicago Blackhawks to a shootout, which relies primarily on the finesse of a shooter and the skill of a goalie, you've kind of taken that team out of the game, haven't you? You've taken it to rely on 2 people at a time. So you've done well. You've done well, and I think it's promising. Now, if we can come back in that first game season opener and just kind of whoop ass, that's going to say something for us. Isn't that going to be a great confidence builder for the young guys? So they know if we can beat the Stanley Cup champs now, who could stand against us? And it's a good question to ask. I was impressed with the youngins tonight. Not everybody stepping up the way they should have. Chimera always come into play. You just love that guy. And now, before I said he was a skater and a half. I mean, he's a freaking rocket. But he had problems with one-on-one shooting. He had a problem tonight in the shootout with that. Didn't make it. He's got to learn to play the puck a little bit crazier, but still hit his spots. He's got to learn a little bit more about passing. He's good with passing, but he can be great. He can be great because his reaction time is so freaking fast on everything, not just his speed. So he's got all that working for him. He's just got to nail it down. And you're going, well, shit, he's 33 years old. He better get it soon. I agree. He better get it soon. But God, does he put in a day's work when he comes to that rink. Let's give him a lot of credit for what he does. Jason Chimera, an absolutely necessary part of this team. Mojo, you could learn something from him. Stop being a bum. Start skating, using your speed, even if you have to sacrifice some on your passing. Damn it, show people that you're willing to work. Show your coach, show your fans, show the other team. Make them fear a breakaway. They'll keep guys back on the forecheck and give us some room. You know, you got to be a threat. You're not a threat right now, and you should be. OV, I don't have anything to say to OV. He's a superstar. He's going to play like a superstar. What are you going to tell OV? Nicky's doing great. Nicky, glad to see him passing more. You know, Carlson came to play tonight. Love the no-look passing. Need to see that a lot more in our team's play. No-look passing is easy, folks. It is easy. You can do it, and it fools the hell out of people on the ice. Take a glance around you, see where everybody is and where they're moving, and then look the other way when you pass. It's very effective. It really is. Great job there, Carlson, on doing that. There are probably a couple of players that deserved mention tonight that I haven't mentioned. Sorry for that. No offense to them. I just was focusing on these players. We may even get them in next show if I gave them too little attention tonight, but I need to hear from you. Why don't you tell me the mistakes I made on Facebook.com/TruthOnTapShow. You can go there and make comments about it. We're getting ready to sign off here. I just want to remind you quickly of who you've been listening to.
You're listening to Truth on Tap with host Kevin Kierstead.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for Caps on Tap tonight's show for Washington Capitals playing the Chicago Blackhawks. Season opener, don't forget, coming up, we'll be playing the Chicago Blackhawks, Stanley Cup champion, defending